Before you begin watching this video, I have a disclaimer. The script that I wrote for this video and the voiceover that I recorded was all created before I watched the last 3 episodes of season 22. Just to let you know. Blah 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 blah. Hi, my name is Vivian, but you can call me Viv, in case you didn't know that yet. And welcome to a video of your many questions and my answers to those many questions in honor of 500,000 plus more people who subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all of you who watch my videos. And to everyone, I thank you. And multiply it by 6. And if anyone is able to figure out where that reference comes from, they get to name the people who watch my videos, as long as it's appropriate and it makes sense. You can either pause the video right now or wait until it's all over to go to my Twitter account to vote for which kind of Halloween themed video you would like to see this month. So, anyway, let's get started. First question is, what is your opinion on characters that were never named? Like 3rd grade female cat or 4th grade male dog? I hope that they will get named and get promoted to minor character or major character. And if there is an unnamed minor character, then I hope that they will become a major character with an established name and personality, such as George and Maria. Yes, that's right. George used to be a background character. No name. Are you doing well, Raven? Here's a picture of her. She's pretty, isn't she? And she's wild. Opinion on the tough customers, and don't they look a little bit tall for their age? I'm happy that the members, the characters, of the tough consumers are starting to get their own episodes and receiving the awesome power of character development. I love character development. And yes, they do look tall for their age. Must be a growth spurt for all 4 of them. And I wish there was an explanation of what's happened to the ones who disappeared and the newish one appearing. I know there's a logical explanation. I just wish it could be explained instead of being brushed under the rug. Why did I say it in a weird accent? Hey, do you remember there being more of us? And Slink joined for some reason. Nope. Most annoying character? It's Jenna. No, not that one. Jenna. You know, the one from Clifford the Big Red Dog? Yeah, she does have some good moments. But if I had to pick the most annoying character, it would be her. Since most of the time she makes me feel 2 words. Arthur's fist. And if you were referring to an Arthur character, who is the worst character in Arthur? The most annoying and worst character goes to none other than Cora. Cousin Cora. No middle name, no last name, Cora. At the end of my April Fool's video, I gave her a theme song that I found that perfectly fit her terrible personality. And I just realized something. Why was Grandma Thora, David Reed's mom, getting a present for Cousin Cora with a relative on Jane Reed's side? I can't believe I haven't noticed this. Unless I explained this in that video. I didn't mention it.
How old are you?
A question about my age. Didn't see that coming. Kind of. Before I wrote the script. What is age? Age is just the rotation of the planet we live on. That revolves around the sun. On Mars, I could easily be 21 years old on Earth. But I still have the soul of a teenager. And I keep forgetting that I'm not one anymore. Problems.
Do you think Arthur's nose should be made into an episode?
I don't know. I never read it or know what it's about. But that would be neat if they translate that book or any other Arthur book written by Mark Brown into an episode once again, like they used to. And I don't remember the last book to episode adaptation there was. That's information that I should know about.
Opinion on Carl.
I don't have much of an opinion about him. He likes trains, and he is an amazing expert about them. And that's it. I'm happy that the creators of the show introduced a well-fleshed-out character who has Asperger's syndrome. When I first watched this episode when I was little, I never heard of this disability. And the creators of this episode did a very good job with teaching the viewers about Asperger's syndrome, who might have never heard about it. And Carl's debut is a good representation for kids and people who have Asperger's syndrome. And someday, I hope he gets his own episode.
Have you heard of people trying to get Arthur canceled?
What? How dare they? They better not be able to succeed. Arthur's Fist memes? Assemble.
Your theory on why we never see Arthur's other grandparents?
Have I ever mentioned that I was planning to create a video about that to you guys? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But if I haven't, now you know that will eventually happen. Eventually, with a capital E.
What do you like besides Arthur and Odd Squad?
Let's explore that, shall we? Going down. Here we have Martha Speaks, So Word Girl, both good shows, ended too quickly and not really in a good way. Rich with Ralph Buckman, wish it would ended better. Little Bear, wish it ended better. Backyardigans, wish it ended better. People in the Big Wide World, wish it ended better. Wish it end better, wish it end better. Wish it end better. Wish it end better. I don't know if it's still going. I haven't catch up on the Wildcats episodes. Love that, love that. Love that, but I haven't caught up with most of the episode. Love that, that was super funny. Amphibia, Hilda, I love that. Incredible Greek, I love that. Dragon Prince, that's good. Infinity Train is good, really, really good. Jack Tales, wish it ended better. DC Superhero Girls, I haven't caught up yet. Harpy Beaks, wish it ended well. Over the Garden Wall, that ended perfectly because it's a miniseries. Gravity Falls, I think it ended well, and I haven't caught up with the Loud House episodes. Shira's good, Avatar ended well. I love Miraculous, and I like The Legend of Korra. That was a good show.
Who are your top 5 favorite Arthur characters?
Hi! You know my name if you're paying attention to the beginning, blah 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 blah, rolling the list. 5, Maria. 4, George. 3, Buster. 2, Sue Ellen. And
Who is the best character?
the best character, in my opinion, is Fern. Moving on.
Who is the weirdest?
Gurn, the awesome crazy robot from Invader Zim. For Arthur, it would be Buster. In a good way.
Do you ever complain about most of the modern episodes not being about Arthur and instead being about one of his friends most of the time?
Nope. It's been like that for a long time. Since the first episode. All the characters take turns to have their own episode, including Arthur. It's not just about him. It's about all these characters and their stories about their lives. You happen to know Arthur.
What's your least favorite Arthur episode? Is Arthur's Big Hit your least favorite episode of Arthur? If not, then what is your least favorite episode of Arthur?
My least favorite / episode that I hate the most, and yes, Arthur's Big Hit, is my least favorite episode of all time. I haven't mentioned this in my review of that episode, and if you want to check that out, you can click the lowercase I up there in the upper right corner. Anyway, the thing that I didn't mention in that video is that episode, personally for me, it's super dark. And that's coming from a person that likes to lurk in the shadows, according to my Twitter bio. And if you think about it, it is the darkest thing for a character from this series to do. And the character is Arthur, the main guy who has the shoe named after himself. Whoa. That is dark. I never thought about it like that. But this episode does show that he is flawed and makes grave mistakes like everyone else. But that doesn't make me magically like this episode any more than I hate it.
What Arthur episode do you think is the most boring?
Arthur's almost boring day. Only for some of the characters in certain parts of this episode. Not me. I don't have an episode that I think is the most boring. Or at least one that I can think of. Oh well. I just figured out what my boringest episode of Arthur is. And I remembered that while not really binging, Arthur, I discovered that I skipped one episode. And that was Arthur's Lost Dog. And I think I skipped it because it was boring. I don't know, it just feels stupid.
Am I the only one that finds the pets or baby episodes boring? Or do you find them boring too?
When I was back in high school, when I was still a teenager, in 7th grade, I remember there was one time when I decided to watch every episode of Arthur from season 1 to season 15, excluding the Flash ones, before I head to school. And for some reason, I decided to skip those episodes. I don't think it was because I thought they were boring. I think it was because at the time, I didn't consider them as official episodes, and I wasn't interested in them, since it wasn't about the human characters that are old enough to communicate with the other old enough human characters.
Do you have plans on creating or voice acting in TV shows?
I am a terrible actor, and it doesn't interest me. But what does interest me is creating my very own TV show. But there are many other things that I want to do, so that wish is way down of the many things that I want to end up doing and completing.
Congrats on hitting 500 subs!
Thank you, TAC.
My questions are, what Arthur episode that most people like, but you don't? And what is an Arthur episode that most people dislike, but you like?
Well, I'm not in the know with the sum of Arthur fans, but I am going to answer this double hybrid question with my assumption of Arthur fans' likes and dislikes. Flippity Francine. I assume everyone liked this episode, but I didn't like it one bit. I guess I did kind of like it, except for one thing that ruined the entire episode. The writer of this episode did his best. Since he was a new writer for the show at the time, and only watched a few episodes of the series. And there is one part of that episode that really shows that fact. Why are you explaining this certain information to Francine? As if you and her forgot she was saved by you. That's the part that ruined this episode for me. All it needed was a little more polishing. For the vice versa, my assumption would be a princess problem, written by the same person later on. How ironic.
How long does it take for you to make an episode? Typically.
It used to take me once a week, when I only focused all my days and time on every episode instead of the other stuff that I want to do, like watching YouTube videos, Netflix, and writing my story. For some good reason, I somehow transitioned to making one once a month. As long as I'm not sick, or minorly depressed about something, or I need to rest my wrists, or I'm disabled from life. In other words, or I'm dead. Dark humor. Moving on.
Do you like funny or serious Arthur episodes more?
I like both. But if I had to choose between the two, I would choose the serious episodes. I don't know why, but it just feels realistic. Funny things are good too.
How did you make your original character? Your OC?
On the Arthur website, there used to be a creative, game-ish non-game where you're able to create your own character. But there was an option to create mine to look like Fern, which was very sad, but I chose an aardvark instead. So it's sort of not original, and the credit goes to the person who created that creative, game-ish non-game. That's no longer there for some reason. And if I end up accidentally permanently deleting all of my character's looks, I'll just get creative and figure out some other way.
Future guest stars?
I'm going to answer this supposed question in both ways. Will you have any future guest stars? Dunno, maybe. Maybe that's all in uppercase letters. Or, do you think there will be any more guest stars on the show? As long as the show keeps going, then yes. Or even, will you make an episode of top guest stars you want to see in an episode in the future? I'm not sure. I have to check my list of videos that I might do to see if it's there. But I won't do it now, because my voice is getting sore, and I need to finish this. Moving on.
What do you think of LaDonna and Bud?
They are awesome! Except for their accents. It's not that I don't like them. I like them. It's because they aren't accurate from what I learned about people who are from New Orleans. People from New Orleans don't have Southern accents. They have Bronx accents. Whatever that sounds like. So the only thing that I don't like about them is only an inaccurate information from the series creators. And the plot hole is yet to be explained. Arthur this means? A symbol. Yes, I am a Marvel fan.
What is the first PBS Kids show you ever remember watching?
Well, I think the very first one was kind of like Thomas and Friends, except there wasn't any trains. In its place, there were boats. And I have no idea what the show is called. But that's the first thing that I remember.
Which Arthur character suits you the most? And if you were an Arthur character, which one would you be?
The character that I wish would be none other than the amazing, a character with a yet-to-be-known middle name, if she has one. It's Cousin Cora, just kidding. The only thing that I like about her is the royalty-free song that I actually found for her. Perfectly fits her personality that needs to be given great development. Someday, please, creators of Arthur series, please do that. Arthur Festus, that joke is getting old. I'm not going to use it anymore, no matter how much I want to, because I don't want to overuse it. The Arthur character that I want to be is Fern. Just Fern. She's awesome. I love her. That's the end of all the questions, and to finally rest my sore throat. That journey was long answering those questions. I hope that I answered them well, or better than you imagined. I might do this again. A might with capital letters. But we will see. Goodbye, wonderful people. And have a wonderful time. Whatever the time it is when you're watching this video. So, yeah. Time to rest.